This is a shocking story of a woman who lived with her grandmother, killed and buried her in a yard, and spent her grant and pension money after. The woman is called Nomaswazi, and at the time of the crime, she was 31 years old. Nomaswazi lived in Mdeni, Soweto, in the Gauteng province with her grandmother, who was called Nomsa. Nomsa was 62 years old and was a retired nurse who had taken care of Nomaswazi ever since her mother passed on when she was a teenager. In 2018, Nomaswazi had moved back in her grandmother's house after losing her job. Nomaswazi had a drug addiction problem and would be under the influence most of the times. She would demand money from her grandmother, and when not given, she would have arguments with her. So one day, on the 14th of December 2019, she had an altercation with her grandmother, who was kicking her out of her house after she was done with Nomaswazi's behavior. In the moment of anger, Nomaswazi hit her grandmother with a calabash on her head and then strangled her with her hands until she became unconscious. She then dragged her grandmother's lifeless body to the back of the yard, put petrol on her, and set her alight to hide her identity. Nomaswazi then dug up a shallow grave to bury the body, and then she put a steel cabinet on top of the shallow grave. She then went to the police station on the 19th of December to report her grandmother as missing at the Naledi police station. Nomaswazi then went on a shopping spree, spending money from her grandmother's SASSA and Nedbank cards immediately. The police had started investigating the case of her missing grandmother, and they eventually arrested Nomaswazi on the 3rd of September 2020 for using someone's card after reporting her missing, and she was kept in custody for fraud and theft. So while Nomaswazi was in prison, the relatives decided to rent out the grandmother's house. So one day, in June 2021, a new tenant decided to clean the yard. He had tried to move the steel cabinet so as to be able to remove the weeds and the grass that was surrounding it. After removing the steel cabinet, that's when he saw a carpet, and he used a shovel to lift it up, and that's when he discovered the remains of a human being.